last week I was told by several security firms that because of the people that we have not announced yet, but some of the people that are involved in this, or at least have plans to be involved in this, that some of the security services were getting a little nervous because of the high-profile nature of this event and the volatility of the Middle East. And this is a country that has experienced the death of Yitzhak Rabin, who was a prime minister, and he was assassinated in a open public square. And obviously, that would be horrific in nature if something of any kind of violence would happen. I told you last Friday that we had heard on, I think it was Wednesday, that 40,000 Muslims would be on top of the Temple Mount. Now, my security chief came to me when I first picked this location, and it is my understanding that we would be the first Christians to ever use this location for any kind of high-profile event. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. When I picked this location, I didn't pick it. I truly believe it was selected for me. I don't think I really had a choice. Everyone advised me, no, it can't be done. And I said, well, let's just try. And all of the doors were open to us, and in a remarkable fashion. When we heard about the 40,000 Muslims now that were now planning to be on top of the Temple Mount, we knew there was trouble. And the police were saying, okay, we're going to, the first time I was in Israel, and Jeffy, you were with me, they were throwing stones down on the heads of the Israelis that were praying there. And it turned into a riot and everything else, and it was very bad. And so when I heard 40,000, I realized that it's more than just me. My security detail, when I first selected this, pulled me aside while I was talking to people and said, "Excuse me, Mr. Beck, can I speak to you for a second?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "You're planning on putting the stage here?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Your back is facing this direction?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "These people play for keeps. We're in the Middle East." And I said, "I understand that." It is one thing to put yourself into a situation. It isn't quite another to put others in the situation. We had all of the security and everything else that everyone felt comfortable with at the time, but the Middle East is extraordinarily volatile. And as I wrote in this letter last week, as I was on the plane, God is not one that causes chaos or contention. God is, you know who he is by the overwhelming feeling of peace and strength, not through anger, contention, or hatred. We have been asked if we would move the site. I concur, because courage must be coupled with wisdom. And the last thing we want to happen is anyone to be injured in any way, or there to be any kind of conflict. This is a very strong program. It will speak for itself. It is a program that I believe will be remembered by millions in the world as a turning point in their own personal life and their world. However, we'd prefer that turning point wasn't World War III. Last year, when it was about 3 weeks before the Restoring Honor event, and if you remember right, we had threats from the Black Panthers. We knew that they were going to do all kinds of rallies all around us. As it turns out, Al Sharpton did one, but wasn't right where they said it was going to be, and the Black Panthers didn't show up. But we knew at the time that they were going to be. And I remember in my moment of weakness actually yelling at the Lord and saying, "What is it you want? We've done everything we're supposed to. What is it you want from us? We are trying to do what you ask us to do, and we're risking our fortune, we're risking our lives, and we are putting our country up on the table too, because if something happened, the reason why I had this conversation is because we were way behind in fundraising, and the Secret Service told us we had to spend, I think it was another $500,000 on security. It's why we had snipers up on the roof and everything else. And I knew we didn't have the money, but I knew that if we didn't have that, if something, God forbid, happened, then I would be blamed. The right would be blamed for starting a civil war, even though it wasn't us. It was somebody that came up and did something if we didn't have the right security. Well, here we are, except this year it's not Civil War. This year it's World War III. And I am not going to put you or me or anybody else that believes in peace, but will stand firmly in the way of violence, in the way of evil and deceit and lies. I'm not going to put any of us in jeopardy. So in the next couple of days, we'll be announcing the new location. It will either be inside the walls of Jerusalem, or it will be directly outside. We have holds on a couple of places. I just have to make a decision on one of them. But it may be on the Mount of Olives, which would be kind of an appropriate place, and seeing that it is now we would be looking at the eastern wall as opposed to the southern wall, which holds really no significance. The western wall is the wall that the Jews pray through, and the eastern wall is the wall that both Jewish members of faith and Christians believe the Messiah is going to go through that gate. It's called the Lion's Gate. It's been bricked up because some people think they could stop the Messiah with bricks. We'll have to light that one. This is another thing, and just to show you how dicey this is, we were told, as I spent 20 minutes with the lighting director when I was over in Israel, and I said how I wanted things lit, and he said, okay, I just have to let you know, because we had, at the time, I don't even know, there was like 75 moving lights or something, and he said, as we program these, we have to be very careful, because any light that happens to go on the southern wall, they will claim is an affront to Islam, and it could cause a riot. And so we have to be extraordinarily careful. I'm like, can we do that? Can we do that? He said, yeah, we're going to do our best. The eastern wall can, if it's my understanding, can be lit. And so maybe we should light the Lion's Gate where the Messiah will return. But it's dicey, but I want you to know that it's happening, and we would like millions to be viewing it. We would like you to witness what is going to happen in the Middle East this August. It is going to be covered on GBTV. GBTV.com is going to cover it in extraordinary fashion. You'll find out. No matter what the exact location is, you will see it on GBTV. And if you've already purchased your tickets, you will be there. We'll just give you the information on the exact location.